The kick was meant to humiliate, nothing more than a careless flick from a kid who'd never faced consequences. It landed with a dull, heavy thud. The man didn't fall. The diner went silent. And in that silence, Ethan realized, far too late, that some people don't move out of the way for money, names, or threats, and he had just kicked one of them. The kick landed harder than Ethan expected. Not because he meant it to, he'd done it on impulse. A sharp flick of his foot under the table, the kind of careless violence that came from a lifetime of never being corrected. But the impact echoed strangely, a dull, solid thud, like leather striking stone instead of flesh. The man didn't fall. The diner went silent. Ethan's friends froze, half-laughs dying in their throats. Forks hovered in midair. A coffee cup rattled as someone's hand trembled. Even the old jukebox in the corner seemed to hold its breath. Slowly, deliberately, the man turned around. He was enormous. Not Jim Big or Hollywood Big, not the puffed-up kind Ethan was used to seeing on magazine covers or Instagram reels. This was a different kind of size. Dense, functional, like gravity had chosen him as a favorite. The man looked down at Ethan's leg, still half extended beneath the booth. Then he looked at Ethan and smiled. Not a friendly smile, not an angry one either. It was something worse, calm, measured, deeply unimpressed. "Son," the man said quietly, "you want to try that again? Or you want to apologize?" Ethan swallowed. For the first time in his life, something didn't immediately bend to him. Ethan Caldwell was 17 years old and worth more than most small towns. Not personally, of course, but his last name carried weight like a loaded gun. His father, Richard Caldwell, ran money the way generals ran wars. His mother curated galleries, charities, and people. Their house in Malibu had more bathrooms than Ethan had close friends. Fear had never survived long around Ethan. It got smoothed out by lawyers, absorbed by settlements, laughed off by adults who didn't want trouble. At school, teachers understood. At parties, consequences vanished. At restaurants, tables appeared. So when Ethan kicked the man under the counter at Marlowe's diner, it wasn't rage. It was reflex. The diner itself offended him. The vinyl booths were cracked. The floor squeaked. The waitress didn't smile fast enough. And then there was the man at the counter, taking up space, blocking the aisle, not moving quickly enough when Ethan stretched his leg out like the world was an ottoman. The contact had been light. Dismissible. That was the problem. The man hadn't dismissed it. Up close, the man looked older than Ethan first thought. Early 50s, maybe. His face was lined, sun-worn, but relaxed, like someone who slept well at night. His arms were thick with muscle that didn't beg for attention. No utility, no watch, no phone in his hand, just presence. Linda, the waitress, stepped forward nervously. "Everything okay here?" The man glanced at her. "I'm fine." Then his eyes returned to Ethan. "You okay?" he asked. The question wasn't mocking. It wasn't threatening. That unsettled Ethan more than shouting would have. "I'm great," Ethan snapped, pulling his leg back. "You ran into me." A few people murmured. Someone muttered, "Kid's got a mouth." The man nodded slowly, like he was filing the moment away. "Funny," he said. "Felt like the other way around." Ethan scoffed. "You gonna cry about it?" That was when the man chuckled. A low, quiet sound. Controlled. "No," he said. "I was just deciding how to handle this." Ethan's chest tightened. He didn't like that answer. "Handle what?" Ethan said. "You think you're scary or something?" The man finally straightened to his full height. The lights above the counter caught his face just right. A woman near the window gasped. "Oh my God," she whispered. Linda froze. Someone dropped a fork. Ethan didn't notice any of it. He was too busy realizing that the man's smile hadn't changed, but his eyes had. They were assessing him now, measuring, not as a threat, as a problem. "Hey," Mason whispered urgently, tugging Ethan's sleeve. "Do what?" Ethan snapped. "That's..." Mason swallowed. "That's Dwayne Johnson." Ethan laughed. "Sure it is." "No," Tyler said, pale now. "I swear. That's him. The Rock." The words didn't land. They slid off Ethan's brain like water off glass. He looked back at the man, at the familiar jaw, the unmistakable build, the calm confidence that suddenly made horrifying sense. The man tilted his head slightly. "You done?" he asked. Ethan felt something new crawl up his spine. Not fear, uncertainty, the kind that comes right before fear learns your name.